Uh,
If you ever want to trade tactics, I'm always ready.
hey, what's up, guys? I'm back for live stream.
This place seems familiar. Huh, I remember. I think there's some elemental monuments here. So you're saying they're related to all this? When I investigated the seal last time, I had someone with a vision accompany me. But when we lit up all the elemental monuments, nothing happened.
That's because you don't just need to activate them at the same time, but in a certain order as well. Otherwise, the seal will not be broken. The secret to this puzzle is hidden in the legends about the Archon War. Tianheng in the south, Yaoguang in the east, Jueyun in the west, Qingce in the north. All desolate and devoid of life. Liyue is vast, yet even one haven is hard to find.
To the north, to the east. Do the people of Liyue always talk in riddles?
I think I've heard this saying before.
Certainly you have. And the contents of this saying are also related to the god of salt. To provide a haven for her people, whose lives had been ravaged by the Archon War. This benevolent god searched all across Liyue. At that time, with the chaotic fires of war engulfing the land, even one sliver of peace was a luxury. The haven she eventually found is right here. Today, it is known as Sal Terai.
How sad.
Oh my god.
In the end, this peaceful place was destroyed by Morax.
Okay,
Napwede ba siya
enough with
today? Oh
those
my
ancient
god. Naman nila.
stories. Now that we have the clue, hurry up and break the seal.
Too cute to
Whatever
handle.
happened doesn't matter as long as we can get inside that ruin.
Tianheng in the south, Yaoguang in the east, Jueyun in the west, Qingce in the north. With this clue, you should be able to solve the puzzle.
Bruh. Bruh.
Okay, let's
Cakap
go.
macam tu. Oh damn. Cringe.
Follow zombie instruction like the monument. Tapi nak kena clear dulu lah. Oh no, it's lagging. Sheesh. Oh, wait. Sekejap. Sekejap guys.
Back off!
Good. Good or something.
Tianheng in the south, Yaoguang in the east, Jueyun in the west, Jingze in the north. The directions are the clue. Give it another try. Tianheng in the south,
South.
Yaoguang in the east,
East.
Jueyun in the west,
West.
Jingze in the north. The directions are the clue.
South.
Give it another try.
Yep, nose dulu.
Back off!
Oh, really? I have to
Tianheng in the south,
south, east,
Yaoguang
west,
in the
left.
east, Jueyun in the west,
South, east,
Jingze
west,
in the
left.
north. The directions are the clue. Give it another try.
East. West.
Tianheng in the south, Yaoguang in the east, Jueyun in the west, Jingze
Kenapa,
in
eh?
the north. The
Kenapa, eh?
directions are the clue.
Aduh.
Give it another try.
Aduh. Ya Allah. Lagu dia sedap nak kena live.
Salah, salah, salah.
Tak boleh kalau anime ada lagu ni. Dia buatkan aku healing.
Back off!
Tianheng in the south,
South.
Yaoguang in the east, Jueyun in the west, Jingze in the north. The directions are the clue. Give it another try.
Okay.
Look! The seal really was broken! Mr. Zhongli is indeed quite remarkable.
It was nothing, really. Now, it's time that people learn the hidden truth lost to time.
No.
We can definitely write this off as incidental gains.
Damn boy. Oh. Bestie. Ada. Nah, ikut-ikut.
Yeah.
Ada berapa? Satu lagi 3 episod lagi. Episod 10, 11, 12. 3 episod lagi. Come
Law of life. Faster? Okay, faster.
Aduh, tak boleh lah. Kenapa kecil sangat? Oh damn. It made me. My heart goes doki doki. Now what?
Before entering the ruin,
Semua.
I have a proposal that will help us prevent the kind of senseless arguing between you two that we saw at Guyonstone Forest.
Okay. What is it?
I propose you two agree upon a contract, stipulating that we alternate who gets claim to each treasure we encounter, with only one object permitted per claim. To show my sincerity, I won't be taking any treasure. This will just be between you all.
Hey! Don't pass an opportunity like this up so easily!
I don't agree. I mean, you want me to split the treasure with this amateur archaeologist? No, absolutely not.
I don't agree either. He will only defile the precious relics left behind by the god of salt. I can't accept this.
Well then, if the contract is not agreed upon, I will no longer serve as your consultant on this expedition. You will have to rely on your own experience to find whatever treasures are hidden in this ruin, as well as traps.
You have the audacity to demand this. Okay then. Even half of the treasure in the long-sealed ruin of the God of Salt should be enough to make a fortune.
If you want me to agree upon this contract, so be it. I just have one request, Mr. Zhongli. If we discover the truth behind the God of Salt, you must judge it fairly, even if the truth harms Morax's image.
I can accept this arrangement. Well then, let's go.
Okay. Alley-oop. Oh, Adi.
Not bad.
Menuju.
Are these statues?
No. These are people.
Ugh.
They were probably followers of the God of Salt.
How did they become this way?
What in the world is hidden deep in this ruin?
Right! Quake!
Look at this! It's filled halfway with salt.
Just looks like a fancy salt holder. Seems like the god of salt was a god lacking in treasures.
According to my knowledge, it's no ordinary vessel. Although it is only half full, it is also forever half full. That is to say, it is bottomless.
What? You're saying that even if I pour the salt out, the amount inside won't change?
Exactly.
Able to produce endless salt. The god of salt is powerful indeed.
Finally, after all that effort, I've found precious treasure. I claim this as mine. I just need to pour the endless salt into 1,000 or 10,000 bags. I can sell it and make a fortune.
Hey, how can you use a relic of the god of salt for such a shallow pursuit?
If Mr. Clement wants this salt chalice, then the next object we find will belong to Miss Wanyan, according to the contract agreed upon.
Of course, as we agreed. But how can anything be worth more than this rare find?
This way you
Since we
wrong,
have a
Kido.
contract, it's no use for me to fight with him.
Then let's move on, shall we?
Life goes on.
Quake! This is order. Crumble! Quake! Huh, just a simple ruler. It doesn't look to be worth anything.
This, if I remember correctly, this is some kind of measuring tool.
Indeed. But the god of salt imbued it with another power. When you stick this ruler in the ground, the surrounding area will become covered in salt, much like a rising tide covers the earth. The deeper it is stuck in the ground, the more salt will appear. It is essentially a bumper harvest of salt.
What? That's even better than the salt chalice!
Well then, according to our contract, the salt ruler goes to Miss Wanyan.
No, unacceptable. I paid for and organized this entire expedition. Why should I get the short end of the stick? And this girl has been useless. Why would she get anything?
Oh boy, here we go again.
So you are saying you want to break the contract?
So what if I break it? Now that I've seen how the mechanisms in this ruin work, I no longer need you. Let's not forget who hired who here. Why should I let you make the rules?
Because you agreed to a contract. Rex Lapis once said, "Ones who break their contracts shall suffer the wrath of the rock."
That is one of your Liyue gods. I am from Snezhnaya. I
will suffer the wrath of the rock. You may find it rather unpleasant. Rise!
Oh shit. ฉีกครับ
Can't run from death. I shall confiscate your treasure as well. You are not worthy to continue any further into the ruin. Leave this place.
Oh, darn you! Just you wait.
Boleh pula tiang tu halang.
Some archaeological survey. He could only pretend for so long. Hey, Paimon likes Mora, but Paimon doesn't do bad things.
Clement's wrongdoing stemmed from greed, yes. But besides greed, there are many other things that may tempt us to break contracts. When people see the object of their dreams, how many are really able to control their desire and follow the contract? I think we should be honest with each other now.
Huh? Be honest about what?
That in truth, not a single member of this archaeological expedition came here for archaeology.
Why do you say that?
Miss, you lack even the most basic archaeological knowledge, and can recognize naught but a few simple relics. However, you are an expert when it comes to anything regarding the god of salt. You aren't interested in archaeology or relics. What you're really interested in is the god of salt. I believe those legends about the god of salt that you mentioned on the Pearl Galley are passed down between generations at Yinyuan Hall.
Okay, that's enough. Sir, you are indeed a man of great knowledge and talents. I seem to have been right to seek you out once I plucked up my courage. You're right. I'm not a scholar of archaeology. I come from one of the 8 trades under the jurisdiction of the Chising, Yinyuan Hall of the salt industry. Our ancestors were those protected by the god of salt all those years ago, when the Archon War engulfed the land in chaos.
Oh, right! Now that you mention it, the people of Liyue very seldom use the name Morax.
During the war, Morax assassinated our god out of envy for her power. He left us alone and lost in the world. We hate him! But this is Morax's Liyue after all. And its history is written as he wishes. So I seek proof of Morax's guilt. He has blood on his hands and cruelty in his heart. We agreed to a contract that we will face the truth head on, didn't we, Mr. Zhongli? You must judge this history fairly.
Naturally, of course. But I must add, Liu is no longer Morax's Liu. Come with me. All the answers you seek lie ahead.
Rise.
Quake! Crow! Order guide you! Quake! Rise!
Life goes on.
This is order.
This is a sword? Aha! It's a broken sword! This is proof! This proves that the God of Salt had to fight back. Fight back against the evil Morax. But sadly, she was defeated. The power of this sword surely is much greater than that of the Salt Chalice and Salt Ruler. If we can repair the sword, then we can show the world the mighty power of the God of Salt.
It does look like something left behind after being defeated in battle.
2 pieces of a broken sword. From an archaeological perspective, these are 2 separate relics. According to the contract, you can only claim one.
Why? We were alternating claims to treasure, true. But Clement is no longer here.
Yes, but the only one object per claim clause still holds true. You cannot take 2 relics at the same time.
This logic!
Zhongli, she seems like a good person, and no one is fighting over the treasure. How about you let this one slide, huh?
When there's a contract, nothing can be allowed to slide. If the contract is not followed, then it is broken.
No! If I only take 1/2, then it can't be repaired, and the power of the God of Salt cannot be restored. No matter what, I must be faithful to her. Even if it breaks the contract, I don't care.
So you are already decided? Then there is a price to pay for breaking the contract.
Zhongli!
That is to say, you consign yourself to suffer the wrath of the rock.
That's okay. The God of Salt gave up her life to protect her people. My sacrifice is nothing compared to that. Punish me however you want. Just let me take this proof of my faith.
No, you can't hit her!
Perhaps that punishment would be easier for her. But as punishment, I will tell you the truth.
Huh? The truth? You mean the truth is my punishment?
Yes. The truth that I am about to tell you shall be your price to pay for breaking the contract. I'm afraid to say that the god of salt, Havria, was not the powerful god you imagine her to be. Rather, she was a small and weak god who yielded to all other gods. When it came to war, she lost, never able to win a seat among the seven.
What?
During the Archon War, the gods of this world used all their strength and cunning to vie for control of Tevat. But Havria instead chose to flee. She thought that by giving up before a fight could start, she could save herself and her people from the war. However, during such a long war, there is no end to the advances of aggressors. After making countless concessions, Havria lost all of her lands, until only one small haven remained.
No. No! It can't be so.
In her last days, she had not even a single blade to defend her people with.
Not even a single blade? Then... this sword...
This sword is not a relic belonging to the god of salt, but is instead the murder weapon used to kill her.
Murder weapon? No! That's not true! That can't be true! You're trying to test my faith in the god of salt!
As I said before, I only state the facts.
Preposterous! You are a follower of Morax! Don't try to trick me!
Hey! Hey! Come back!
Indeed. Otherwise, why would I use the truth as punishment? I did not want to tell her such cruel facts. But the contract was broken. Let's follow her deeper into the ruin. There, I fear, we will find something that will leave her no choice but to face the truth.
Are these statue thingies running? What will we find ahead?
Salt. And betrayal.
What are all these? What did they see? What did they do? What happened?
Since you do not trust me, let us continue onward. That which lies beyond this door will show you all that happened back then. This is the scene of the crime. Havria's body dissipated, leaving nothing but these traces of salt. Her dying moments have since been frozen in time to this very day. The story continues that some among her people realized at last that this gentle, kind, but weak god could never protect anyone in wartime. The Archon War was cruel in the extreme. Instead of consigning her to the agony of defeat, they thought perhaps it would be better to give her a quick release.
But what about these statue thingies?
No matter how weak the god, the power that flows forth when they are slain is beyond the strength of mortal coils to bear. Those who could not flee were thus transformed. Those of her people who were untouched by this disaster left for Liyue, where they sought refuge with Rex Lapis. Their descendants feared Havria's remnants and lived in terror that she had laid upon them an eternal curse. So they risked their lives to come here, to break the sword and offer up obeisances in hopes that her anger might be appeased. But they need not have done so. For how could a god who had never once resisted, even till the end, nurse hatred for her people in her heart?
Even if this is so, I can't. This must be a lie. A false history, all of it. Don't you dare try to shake my faith.
Yikes. Zhongli didn't show any mercy this time either.
This is the price she must pay. Yet I would not call it a bad thing. Judging by how she appeared, I fear that she will struggle for a time. But even if she may not escape that struggle immediately, simply recognizing the truth is good enough for now. Indeed. In ages past, Havria's story served as a warning to me as well. Faith in a god who has already passed will do you no good. So it is for Havria. And so it is for Morax also. All right then. Now, would you like to accompany me in taking a trip to Guyan Stone Forest?
Huh? What do you want to do, Zhongli?
Treading old ground. Telling old stories. One cannot help but be reminded of old acquaintances.
Lima je. 5 je per je. 5 je. Wah. Wah. Kira buat apa kira?
Drawing.
Oh, drawing.
Tengah kumpul prima ke?
Oh. Asyik pun satu. Ni tengah buat Zhongli punya cerita. Nanti macam pudar-pudar sikit cerita dia ni. Tak faham juga macam sedap kat cerita Zhongli ni.
Sudah.
Macam sedap kat cerita ni pasal perang lah.
Jangan spoiler. Tadi tak main lagi.
Oh, tak main lagi?
Tak.
Hello.
Ni dah habis exam ni. Memang kemain lah. Stop dekat Mona. Sebab tu lah. Nak buat tapi tak ada masa.
Faham. tinggi kat tempat dia nak pergi ni. Wah, ajar betul.
Now, I mentioned before that many gods of old have been sealed beneath the Guyan stone forest. The Adepti have presently handed Liyue over to mortals, and Havria's time was even further in the past. The Salt Chalice and Salt Ruler that she left behind should not return to Liyue. To leave them here is to let them slumber. And it is also a homecoming. I ended an era with my own two hands. I've always wondered how I should remember that which I ended. History records, but history may be changed. This incident proved that. Time is a mighty force, and history's twist in its flow. I need to find a better way of recording history in order to engrave its truth. Stone carvings were one such ancient method, but unchanging stone, immovable earth, even one such as myself. Someday we may all disappear.
Zhongli.
Therefore, I thought of you, traveler. You are one who crosses the celestial atlas, and who passes through countless worlds. If our history is engraved in your memory, it will one day accompany you into another world. As long as a traveler like you is able to record what happened, then a backup of sorts will exist for times and tides of Teyvat. Well, may you find treasure among the stars, even after you have left Teyvat. Now, I am the god of wealth, so I would think that my words have some weight here. Now then, it is time that we consigned both the Salt Chalice and Salt Ruler to the sea.
Huh? Why do we need to throw them into the sea?
As I said before, this is the place to which the remnants of many bygone gods are consigned. This includes Osial, Overlord of the Vortex, who the Jade Chamber most recently returned to this ocean prison. Thousands of years ago, the Adepti and I fought against the turmoil that plagued every corner of this land. Guyan Stone Forest, where I sealed many gods with my spears. After so long, naught but folk tales remain. Osial, you and I were foes, but our ancient grudge is but a bygone memory now. May that which Havria has left behind be yours to subsume. And thus another spark of divinity departs from Liyue. My legacy shall now be left to those who come after to debate. I will remain here for a while. I fear that moments of reminiscence like this can only grow fewer. Though the Salt Chalice and Salt Ruler do have power in their own right, they are nothing before Osial. If a day comes when he should recover his strength and return, I believe that even so, he will be defeated once more. I will remain here for a while. We did not measure right and wrong during the days of the Archon War in the same manner as we do today. Of course, as I am now, I only wish that she could have lived in a gentler time. Of course, as I am now, I only wish that she could have lived in a gentler time.
Hi guys, I think I wanna sleep. Cheese.
Okay.
Nanti tengok lagi Carol. Let's go. Come on, dah cetian.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. Bye guys.
Alright.
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
Bye.
Mm.
Aish.
I wonder when I'll be as tall as my big sister.
If you ever want to trade tactics, I'm always.
Is this an answer from this world? let's go somewhere. I'll keep this close. Rise.
What's wrong? Cheap tricks.
Incinerate! Wingblade!
Down. Like this.
An answer from this world?
Let me try my I'm ready.
Be gone!
This isn't over. Cheap tricks.
Life goes on.
There's more. Fall before me.
Windblade!
You win this battle. Another test subject. Try.
Prepare to be blown away!
The wrong test subject.
Windblade! A reward on the road.
Let's get down to business.
Pick the wrong test subject.
Finally,
I'll keep this close.
Let me try.
Opening box of Adeptitrix.
Windblade!
To the ferry. Cut down. Like this.
I'll keep this close.
Hey! Have you written out the recipe?
Here it is.
Thank you! Wowie! This is so exciting. I want to make it right away.
Traveler, Paimon, please accept my sincerest apologies for delaying your meal.
No problem. Food always tastes better when you've worked up an appetite.
All right, let's dig in before it gets cold. Well, what do you think? Is Inazuman cuisine to your liking?
It's amazing! Paimon loved this one! Oh, and especially that one over there!
Good. I'm relieved. When I was attempting to cook earlier on, did you chat with the owner at all? And did she, say anything about me?
She did, but don't worry. She's just happy for you is all.
She's happy for me? Oh, then she must have told you. Did she, what does it matter? I know just as well as anybody else that I've got no friends.
Hey, it's not you. Most people just haven't had the chance to talk to you one-on-one before.
Thank you for your comforting words, Paimon. It's all true, though. I just don't have very many friends. Most of the time, I'm either accompanied by family or staff. So everyone must have found it quite a surprise to see me taking you out for a meal.
Exactly! You've got at least 2 friends right here.
Aw! Thank you. That makes me so happy. Excuse me. I'm forgetting myself.
Hey now, expressing your feelings is the right thing to do. Keeping them locked away inside isn't gonna do you any good now, is it?
I agree. So, I just want to say how happy I feel that you both see me as a true friend.
Of course we do. That's always been our style. If someone's nice to us, we're nice to them too. Friendship can go a long way. Take your mom, for example. She wrote about Tsubaki in her notebook, and now it's made you want to find them too.
Yes. I think friendship is an extremely precious thing. And ours is one that I will always treasure.
While we're on the topic though, who is this Tsubaki person anyway?
Well, I think I have an idea, but it's just speculative at this point. I think that Tsubaki might be a fox envoy.
A fox envoy?
Yes, that's what I think. Even I, my mother's own daughter, had never even heard of this friend before. It just seems so mysterious. So I think it must be someone with transcendent abilities who doesn't show themselves very often. And fox envoys are nothing new. Stories have been told about them in Inazuma since ancient times. You must have met Kuji Yae before. Well, she's a fox envoy. That got me thinking. Maybe there are fox envoys out there in Inazuma that people just don't know about. And maybe Tsubaki is one of them.
Whoa! So Inazuma also has supernatural beings?
When you say also...
Well, before Inazuma, we spent some time in Liyue. They have lots of supernatural beings there, like the Adepti. All kinds of them too. Up in the sky, down below the ground, in the water.
Really? I've come across such things being asserted in books, but to hear someone talk about it from first-hand experience is extremely surprising. So Liyue lives up to its reputation. Its culture has a long history and gives rise to the most beautiful legends. Quite captivating.
You should come visit Liyue with us sometime. The best part is, they have loads and loads of delicious delicacies.
Really? I would love that. Speaking of delicacies, Traveler, Paimon, have you eaten your fill?
Oh, Paimon has.
Excellent. Then let's collect the kimono. Then we can pay a visit to my mother's mysterious and transcendent friend.
Hey, Pops, I'm back.
The fireworks show is almost upon us, and the fireworks for each family are almost ready. Oh, new faces? Who are these two? Friends or customers?
A bit of both, actually. They arrived in Inazuma just recently. Can't let them miss out on a fireworks show after coming all this way, can we?
Well, either way, come on in and have a seat. And I, Naganahara Ryunosuke, will tell you all about the long history of the Naganaharas.
That can wait. Pops, I need to ask you about something.
A long, long time ago.
Pops started telling his stories again. Sorry about this. Ever since Pops had his accident, his ears don't work too well.
Really? But for a moment there, it almost seemed like you were having a coherent conversation.
Much, much later, people eventually realized that if you grind certain materials into dust, they burn with many beautiful colors.
Pops, wait!
Huh? What's that?
Did they deliver those firework materials that we ordered yet?
Oh! Yesterday's fireworks have all been delivered. So have the ones from the day before yesterday. And the ones from the day before that.
No, Pops, I meant the materials. The materials that we ordered. They should have arrived today.
Ah, today's fireworks are almost ready too. Don't you worry. Your old man's skills are still as sharp as ever.
No, Pops, the materials. The raw materials for making fireworks.
Sorry?
Materials!
Oh, the materials!
Yes, the materials! Sorry, Paimon got all excited because you finally got the message across.
The materials aren't here yet. The couriers did come over to explain why, but, well, I think they did, but I couldn't quite hear what they were saying.
No worries. As long as we know, that's fine. We can just make them later. Don't forget to take the goods in when they deliver them. Okay, Pops?
Of course. Leave it to me.
Oh, sorry if we were a little loud. It's always the way, though. It's like that every time I need to ask Pop something. I get told that a lot. Because my Pops is deaf, he never argues with anyone and never contradicts them. He just listens cheerfully. When I was little, I thought it was because he really understood me and agreed with whatever I had to say. So, I told my Pops everything. Eventually, I realized that the reason he was like that was that he's deaf. But I still tell him stories every day.
Huh? Why would you do that?
It just makes me happy to see him smile, and it keeps him from being lonely, right? Anyway, more importantly right now, the fireworks show is right around the corner and the materials still haven't arrived. We need to think of an alternative.
Yoimiya? Is that you?
Ah! Oh, you scared me there! I thought I told you to be more careful before you speak.
Sorry.
Hold on, I'm coming over.
Your garment is ready, Miss Kamisato. I've folded and packaged it for you. Oh, and the other item we discussed? That's ready too.
Thank you very much.
No, thank you. It is a beautiful piece of clothing, and it was a pleasure to work on. See you again next time.
Traveler, I have a gift for you.
Oh, really?
Whoa, looks super fancy. Is that for wearing in your hair?
It's a hairpin in the style of a white heron. As well as a hair accessory, you can also use it as an ornament. I couldn't ask for your help and offer nothing at all in return, so this is my gift to you. I'm glad you like it.
Speaking of white herons, that's what your title means, doesn't it? Shirasagi Himegimi. So this gift is like a little piece of yourself. It's just as elegant and beautiful as you are.
You flatter me, Paimon. If this gift reminds you of me, that is all I could ask for.
It definitely will. Alright, well, now we've got what we came for, we can set off. Time to go meet Tsubaki.
No one's looking. Okay, you can come out now. Come around the side. We're lucky that no one from the Tenryo Commission was around. Otherwise, we'd all be in big trouble.
Sorry, I guess I was a little rash, but when I heard you come back, I just...
Don't worry, Sakujiro. So far, at least, everything is going according to plan. We're going to look for firework materials shortly. While we're out, we'll sort out the boat situation for you, as promised.
Thank you for all your help.
He's one of our old customers. He came back to Inazuma from the outside world not long ago. While he was smuggling himself in, the Tenryo Commission found him and put out a warrant for his arrest.
An arrest warrant?
Shh, keep it down. We don't want to draw any unwanted attention. If Sakajiro was caught, there's no knowing what crimes they could charge him with. All we can do is find him a boat and send him out of Inazuma again. Yeah, we know it's going to be dangerous, but there aren't many other options left.
What if the boat capsizes? Drowning is really scary. If things are this bad, couldn't you have just not come back in the first place?
Well, there's something I felt I had to do. But as soon as I got back, I started hearing about all these unbelievable changes. I had made my mind up originally, but now I'm not sure anymore. I didn't want to cause any trouble for Yoimiya or Mr. Ryunosuke, but I'm very grateful to them for taking me in.
Hey, no worries. You're more than welcome. Remember what I said? As long as you've got that little piece of paper, you'll always be a valued customer of the Naganoharas.
Little piece of paper?
Yep, the same paper slips as the one I gave to the kids earlier. Whenever a customer orders fireworks for a commemorative event, we always include a little paper slip with the goods. Only people from inside my family can understand what's written on it. It's the recipe for the fireworks they ordered. If someone shows a Naganohara that paper slip, we guarantee we can make the exact same firework as the original one they purchased, whether it's 10 or even 100 years later.
Wow, that is so awesome!
It's a family tradition. All our regular customers know about this.
The slip I have is from back when my parents ordered fireworks from Mr. Ryunosuke. Now that I think about it, it must be nearly 20 years ago.
Yeah. Khusyuk lukis tu.
Oh ni.
Khusyuk lukis.
Adalah.
Tak apa lah, khusyuk je. Tengah apa tu? Tengah seronok layan kan.
Who would have thought that things would turn out the way they have?
You'll be fine. Escaping in a boat is
Dia
just
dengar
the
lagu
last
sambil
resort, but
lukis.
there's no other way.
Esok tu.
Also try and come up with a different
Dengar lagu
solution.
apa?
Because it'd be much better if you could stay with Inazuma.
Dandelion. Tak. Sebenarnya tengah lukis. Tengah lukis jin.
Oh.
Dan lagu Dandelion ni bagi teringatkan jin. So macam nak
I
lukis
still
jin.
have some time to consider my options.
Oh ya, tak apa tak apa.
Alright. Well,
Teruskan, teruskan.
let's not stay out here in the open for too long. Hurry up and get back inside.
Dandelion.
Dengan Grand Primo lagi.
Update for you.
Ah,
Alright, I'll leave it to you then, I guess.
tu tengah Grand Primo lagi ke?
Yep.
It's a shame. They still wouldn't give him a permit, even though he was born and raised in Inazuma. Speaking of, you guys only got here recently. How did you manage to get a permit?
Even then, we only got through thanks to some help from Miss Hiragi Chisato of the Kanju Committee.
Ah, I see. So you had big shots helping you. I guess that won't be of much help to Sakujiro. I just wish the commissions could be a little bit more flexible. I bet nowhere else you've been is quite like Inazuma, huh? Well, no matter what, I have to find a way to help him. I'm sorry. I invited you to come watch the fireworks, but now I have to run a few errands. You don't have to join me if you don't want to. I can go sort out the firework materials in the boat by myself. And then you can come meet me back at the house later. Oh, cool! Then let's start with Sakujiro's boat. We can chat along the way. Oh yeah! If it's fine with you, can I ask how you two first met?
She saved me from drowning this one time, and after that, we started traveling together. Why do you ask?
Nothing. I'm just quite envious of your relationship. If my pops had a person like you around, his being deaf wouldn't hold things up all the time. Why do you look so excited?
Because you said person and not floating child or a mascot.
Paimon dah lama dah lama tahan sabar dia. Tak apa kan, kan orang kata person ni orang kata dia mascot, lepas tu floating person lah apa kan. Yang Mia panggil dia floating thing apa, yang Mia panggil dia person. Seronok dia dengar.
Koichi, I'm here! How is the boat coming along?
Yeah, it's, alright, I guess. I was questioned, though. Wait, should we really be talking about this in front of them?
Oh, don't worry, they're my friends. You can trust them. They came with me to check up on the boat.
Yeah, you could say we're all in the same boat here.
Oh, I see. Sorry, I didn't mean to doubt you. I'm just being cautious. The boat is ready, but I'll have to be discreet moving it here.
Huh? Why is that?
Because of the Sokoku decree, the Tenryo Commission is really suspicious of any kind of seaborne vessel. Even the smallest ones, they'll stop and interrogate us, demanding to know what we plan on doing with it. It's a real nuisance.
I understand. I'm sorry for dragging you into this mess.
Don't be silly. I'm actually happy you came to me for help. I've always come to you for fireworks, and again this time. So just consider this my way of saying thank you. Right, I'll go fetch the boat now. I should be back shortly.
Thank you. Oh, If it's on the way, you can always pick up your fireworks from my house. Everything was made in strict accordance with what was on the paper slip. You won't find the slightest thing wrong with them.
All right then. The fireworks show will be starting soon, won't it? You should make sure your new friends get to see it. It's an Inazuma tradition after all.
Yep, that's the plan. Oh, you know what?
Emergency food,
You should
yes.
tell them about
I'm
the
eating
past.
emergency food right
About
now.
the first time you ordered fireworks for my family.
That's a long story, actually. Where do I start?
Paimon lagi.
Oh, maybe I'll come back to that after moving the boat here.
Oh, right, yeah. Got caught up in the conversation there.
Okay, well, I'll leave you to it for now and meet you back here later.
Lucky you reminded me. Otherwise, I would have ended up chatting the rest of the day away. I've been so busy with the fireworks business these past few days that I haven't had a moment to stop and chat with anyone. It's killing me.
Yeah.
Of course, Pops is happy to listen to me chatter away, but because he can hardly hear anything, it's difficult to get an interesting reaction from him. And I'm doing it again, aren't I? What I meant to say was, while Koichi is bringing the boat here, we should try to find some firework materials. I need to make fireworks not just for you guys, but for those kids and Sakajiro as well. We're missing a lot of materials.
Maybe so much to worry about us.
It'll be fine. It's actually like this every year. There's always a bunch of extra orders to slot in here and there. When people want fireworks, it's always because they have something to commemorate. And if they miss the chance, they might never get another one. So, no matter how busy I am, I'm always happy to take your orders.
So, what you're trying to say is that you enjoy the work?
Oh, I do! I really do! Being born into a family of fireworks makers, I feel like since I was a kid, I've been obsessed with watching things go boom! And then seeing all the lights and colors and... What I really wanted to say was, don't worry about me. It'll all be fine. Sorry. It's just that good conversation can be as fleeting as fireworks sometimes, you know? So, when I'm in the mood and I've got a lot to say, I just have to get all out there in one go and leave no regrets. Let's head to the city. I think I'll try my luck with some people that I know.
Question! Doesn't it hurt your voice talking all the time?
It can get uncomfortable, I guess, but what else would I be using my voice for?
Huh, you kinda have a point.
Kuat beli, kuat makan, nak murah. Emergency food, Paimon.
Yep.
Tapi bila marah, comel pula ada. Suka.
Ya. Tak boleh lah. Karakter rasanya Paimon kot yang paling suka.
Apa?
Tak ada banyak karakter Paimon paling suka. Tak payah nak pull je. Kalau boleh pull lah.
Tapi Paimon dalam Jepun comel lah. Aduh, suara dia.
Kita memang guna yang Jepun.
Tapi itulah sebab malas nak baca. So, takut macam dia jadi ke laut kan. Bila dengar, okey, dah tahu dia cerita dia macam mana. Tapi kalau macam, okey, macam English punya kan, boleh tekan autoplay tu je. So, kita dengar dia cakap sampai baca, okey, faham lah. Ini tapi bila Jepun okey, suka dengar Jepun punya ni apa dubbing, cumanya nak baca balik tu macam nak bagi faham. Lambat sikit. Tengok story.
Here we are.
よいみやちゃん、俺の読み通りやっぱり来たね。要件は言わなくても大丈夫。花火の材料を探しに来たんだろ。よいみやちゃんのために一袋残しといたよ。これだ。
え、ほんま？なんでわかった？
花火大会の時期になるといつも材料になる鉱石について聞き回ってるだろ。毎年花火の追加注文を受けてるし、だからもう慣れっこさ。
そっか、いつもありがとうな。
気にしないでくれ。たとえ商売はやめてもよいみやちゃんの頼みは断らないよ。それでこちらのお二人が今回の注文者？気にしないでくれ。別に問題ないさ。この前俺が息子と喧嘩した時、よいみやちゃんがあの子をなだめてくれたんだ。俺は息子と話すのが下手でね。よいみやちゃんじゃなかったら今頃あの子は家出してたかもしれない。
そんなことあらへん。あの子繊細やから森彦さんのことめっちゃ気にしとったで。ただあんたとの接し方がわからへんだけや。もうちょいにっこりしてみたらどうやろ。ほんなら息子さんも緊張せんで済むと思うで。
そうか、普段から厳しく接しすぎてたのかもしれないな。外で他の人と話すときはもう少し柔らかくできるのに。
そう思い詰めんといて。誰にだって得意不得意はあるさかい。また似たようなことで困ったらいつでもうちに相談してな。花火の注文やなくてもかまへん。お客さんは神様やから。
ああ、そうさせてもらうよ。みんながよいみやちゃんを褒める理由がわかる。龍之介さんも鼻が高いだろうな。鉱石は持って行ってくれ。モラは払わなくて大丈夫だ。
え、あかん。絶対あかんよ。
構わんさ。俺からの礼だと思って遠慮なく使ってくれ。
せやけど借りができても商売には商売の掟があるやろ。うちを困らせんといてんな。
そう言わずに受け取ってくれ。まだ仕事があるんだろ。
ほならモラの代わりにとりあえず帳簿に書いとくわ。今度花火を割引したる。
お前って子は本当にならよいみやちゃんの好きにするといい。それとお父さんにもよろしく伝えといてくれ。これからも体に気をつけて花火を楽しませてくれって。
ああ、森彦さんも仕事ばっかりしてへんで体に気ぃつけてな。
よいみや人気だな。
何かをお祝いするとき賑やかで綺麗なことに越したことあらへんやろ。それに商売はみんなからの信頼がいっちゃん大事や。お客さんがおらへんと商売をやっていけへん。とにかく鉱石も手に入ったし、あとは職人さんに加工してもらおうか。材料の問題はこれで解決やな。
Dan satu lagi macam dia ada je main game Jepun yang ada subtitle bahasa Inggeris, Yakuza. Cuma Yakuza tu dia macam bagi sebaris so senang kita nak baca. Kalau macam ni dia macam kadang satu dialog tu dia panjang kan. Macam kadang-kadang berulang baca.
良い宮。どうせ花火の材料のことだろう。
どうやら花火大会の時期に宵宮が忙しいのはみんな知ってることみたいだな。
悪いけどちょっとだけ待っててくれる？今武器の注文が溜まってるんだ。
かまへん、平気や。ちゃうか、全然平気ってわけでも。ほんなら手伝ったら、ここの武器が全部完成したら鉱石の加工をしてくれるってことやろ。
そうだね。でも師匠に聞いてみないと。
大丈夫やんな先生。長野原花火大会が時期に始まるし、先生も分かってくれるやろ。まだ完成してへん花火がぎょうさん残っとるんや。もし間に合わへんかったら。
相変わらず口うるさい小娘じゃ。雨の魔流では全身全霊の力をもってして鉄を打ち続けるため忍耐を必要とする。焦って撃てば刀に悪影響を与えてしまう。よそ者が隣で催促しても初めの心を乱すのみ。
ですがもうすぐ長野原花火大会ですし。
じゃから鉱石はわしに任せろ。お前は仕事に集中するんじゃ。
師匠自らですか？
そう大声を出すな。今はこれしか方法がなかろ
おおきに先生助かるわ。
う。気にせんでよい。長野原花火大会がどれほど重要なものかわしもよう知っておる。龍之介にも世話になっとるしな。無視はできん。にしても小娘、今後はもっと計画を立ててから行動しろ。毎度騒がしくてかなわん。
気ぃつけるようにするわ。これからはもっと材料用意しとく。
小娘が気をつけたところでたかが知れとるが、とにかくそこで少し待ってろ。
さすが先生。この粒の形ときめの細かさ、うまいこと言葉が見つからんけどすっごい綺麗やわ。久しぶりに道具を手にしたっちゅうんにこの手際の良さ、さすがや。
当然じゃ。生涯かけて学んだこと忘れたくとも忘れん。
ずっと昔から雨の魔流と長野原花火大会は協力し合ってきたのか？
最初はわしの師匠と龍之介の父親じゃった。代が変わっても花火に必要なものは変わらん。はじめ、これからはお前がこれを作ることになるぞ。
はい、分かっています。
ほなうちは邪魔せえへんように退散するわ。花火見に来てな。よーし行くで。次は光一んとこに戻るか。まだ戻ってへんかもしれへんけど先に行って待っとこ。やっぱ戻ってへんか。まああんたと話したかったしちょうどええか。うちの付き添いで走り回ってくれてありがとうな。みんな優しかったさかい順調やったな。
ああ、ちゃんと話す機会がなかったしちょうどいいかもな。
うちのことばっかであんたらをほったらかしにしてた感があるやろ。せやからずっと喋る機会を探してたんや。初めて会うた時もお互いてんやわんやしとって喋る暇あらへんかったし。あんたら旅人なんやろ。稲妻に来る前はどんなとこ旅してたん？なあ、規則みたいなんがほぼあらへん国やろ。一人一人が思うままに楽しく生きていける場所やって聞いたことある。父ちゃんが昔常連さんからその国のお土産をもろたことあるんや。確かなんちゃらワイナリーって。
あ、暁ワイナリーだな。ダンディライオン酒が有名なんだ。
せやせや、父ちゃんがあんな喜んで酒飲んどる姿そう見たことあらへん。あの日は一晩中うまいうまい言うとったわ。友達から聞いた話やけど、志を持った者だけが旅に出られるらしいで。その目的は風景を求めるためだったり願望を叶えるためだったり。あんたらは何のために嵐を抜けて稲妻まで来たんや？
あと、とある神から答えを聞くためだ。
神様が原因で家族と別れたん？そうやったんか。辛かったやろ。そっかほんまはずっと稲妻に残ってほしかったんやけど、そういう理由ならしゃあないな。稲妻は他と違って永遠を求める国や。つまり何事もなく穏やかなまま平凡な日々が過ぎていく。これのええとこは疲れた人にとってぴったしの休憩所になるってことやな。これじゃあちと分かりにくいか。うちはただあんたが疲れてもうて道半ばで初心を忘れてまうんやないか心配しとるんや。
でも、それはしょうがないことだと思うぞ。
疲れてる時は何やってもうまくいかへん。それに遊びに行っても楽しないやろ。うちの友達に冒険者がおるんやけど、その子から教わった言葉で、ゴールだけを目指して走っとると道中の出会いや感動を無駄にしてしまうっていうのがあるんや。せやけど大丈夫や。うちが負担を軽くしたる。きっと楽しなるで。最後はここを去ってまうかもしれへんけど、素敵な思い出が残るとええな。ほんで家族が見つかって旅を思い返した時、稲妻が家にぴったしやって思うてほしい。あんたらに送る花火の色や構図も思いついたで。でもまだ内緒にしとくわ。
よいみや、待たせたな。船はあそこだ。ってあれ、話の邪魔しちゃったか。そっか、じゃあ行こう。あまり目立たないようにな。でもコソコソするんじゃないぞ。逆に疑われちまう。
雷雨にも耐えられる船ってことはかなり丈夫なんだよな。
もちろん、質なら安心しろ。
Tapi story adik je dekat YouTube kan orang buat Jepun punya full apa full story kan.
Oh, macam kat sini ke? Ada je.
Ada je kan. So boleh lah tengok ulang balik dalam bahasa Jepun kan. Sebab Jepun mereka suka ni lah. Paimon punya voice actor kan biasa Kazuha bahasa Jepun Kazuha tu kelakar gila suara ni.
Yang event hari tu main tak?
Apa event?
Yang left and right.
Main?
Yang tu pun ada je orang letak dekat YouTube lah. Macam nak tengok lagi. So boleh je cari kat YouTube ada. Bagus lah. So kat sini best. Cantik je.
Jangan apa voice factor baik apa buat macam tu. Macam cuba. Betul. Dia jadi meme kan. Tina Dayuk tu pun meme lah.
That's way too small.
Can't be helped, I'm afraid. This is the biggest and sturdiest boat that I can provide. It's built from the finest Inazuman timber. Still, I'll be the first to admit that if he's planning to ride this into the storm, it's going to be exceedingly dangerous.
I'm also hoping Sakajiro won't have to use it. It's just there as a last resort. I gotta say though, Koichi, it feels like your craft has improved once again.
I'm not the one you should be praising. It's all thanks to the guys who kindly pitched in. To avoid detection, we each worked on our own materials separately, then assembled them secretly in the night. This is the largest we could afford to build. Any bigger and there's no way it would pass the Tenryou Commission's inspection.
Let's store the boat here for now then. I'll fill Sakajiro in when I get back. He'll need to make some preparations before setting sail.
Uh-oh. Paimon feels really worried all of a sudden. Doesn't helping Sakajiro make you a collaborator in the eyes of the Tenryou Commission?
Maybe it does, but I knew what I was getting into from the moment I agreed to help him. My family has pretty good connections with the Yashiro Commission. We work very closely with them. And whenever there's a national event of any sort, the other two commissions come to us too. As long as I'm polite and respectful and don't cause a fuss, they won't look to cause trouble for me either. And anyway, to your point about collaboration, you've been helping out too, right?
That's true. This was all a collaborative effort. Wait! Oh no!
Ah, so you're seasoned crooks already, eh? Don't know what I was worried about then. Anyway, thanks for everything, Koichi. And your fireworks are ready, so just go pick them up from my house whenever you want. While you're there, you can get my pops to settle the boat construction fees.
Oh, don't worry about paying anything. Third Sis would be sure to scold me if she found out I'd taken Mora from the Naganoharas.
Who's Third Sis?
Oh, let me explain this one. It's a story my pops told me. There used to be a thriving merchants guild in Inazuma. It got really prosperous. At one point, there were a dozen or so kids born around the same time to the families of the guild. They all grew up together, each of them learning their respective family's business. They were a tightly knit group of friends, but eventually, they all grew up and decided they each wanted to go into business themselves. It was inevitable that business would send them all to different corners of the world, and that they'd have far less opportunity to see each other in the future.
That's right. Just before we went our separate ways, the eldest of the group suggested that we should all go watch some fireworks together one last time.
They were all very ambitious types, and each had their own knack for doing business. One by one, they left, until Koichi was the only one of them remaining in Inazuma. After that, he hardly saw them. But whenever one of them did come back to visit, fireworks would always be involved.
Yeah. No matter how close you and your friends are, There's always gonna be some distance after being separated for a long time. But as soon as the fireworks lit up the sky, it'd instantly take us right back to our childhood, and we'd be chatting away like in the old days. To us, those memories are eternal.
Oh, so this is what you meant when you were talking about commemorating things.
Yep, that's exactly right. That's why I can't let people down when they're counting on me for their fireworks. Anyway, I need to go update Sakujiro. See you, Koichi. Thanks again for your help.
Yeah, I should get out of here too. I don't want to get caught red-handed.
Okay, story time. So, whenever Koichi brings one of his friends from the trade association to see me, they always mention how they used to play with me when I was a kid or held me once as a baby or something. But there are so many of them in that friendship group, and I don't remember anything from that age anyway, so I never have a clue who they are. One time, he shows up with another one of his friends, and the friend asks me if I remembered him. So I'm like, yes, I do! You held me once when I was just a baby. Koichi just bursts out laughing and says, actually, this is one of his carpenter friends. Turns out, he's a lot younger than he looks. Just a few years older than me. I went bright red and must have apologized like 1,000,000 times. It was so embarrassing.
Kalah Paimon. Yomi yang paling banyak cakap.
The boat is already and waiting. I'll mark the location for you on the map. Before you leave, I recommend that you pack some food and water. You can never be too prepared.
After how much effort it took to get back in, it's hard to convince myself to leave again. Especially when I'll be going up against the stormy ocean on a tiny little boat. My prospects don't look great.
Well, they won't look much better if you get caught by the Tenryou Commission. I'm afraid that sooner or later they are going to find you here. Time is starting to run out.
I'm sorry. I'll make sure to get out of here before they come. I promise I won't cause you and your family any more trouble.
I didn't mean it like that. If we ever ran into any problems, I'm sure I'd figure something out. But if the Tenryou Commission does catch up to you, then make a run for the boat.
Okay, I won't let them catch me. But... no, I guess this whole trip was a waste in the end.
Why did you want to come back to Inazuma anyway? Is there something you wanted to do?
I didn't used to like this place at all. That's why I left. But looking back on things now, I was really just running away from my responsibilities. Once I started to realize that, I got restless. I couldn't stop thinking about the people and the things I'd left behind. So forget it. What does it matter now? It's too late anyway. I originally wanted to make up for all my regrets, but instead, I found myself in the situation I'm in now.
What a pity.
Talk to us about it. Maybe we could...
If only there was no Sakoku decree, huh? Anyway, don't worry. We're not going to bother you about it. We'll keep trying to buy you as much time as possible until you reach your final decision. The Tenryou Commission. If only they weren't so overzealous, there might be a way. Oh, that's right! That elderly couple, old customers of ours, their son's in the Tenryou Commission, isn't he? Yeah, quite high up as well. That's it. I'll go talk to them. Maybe they can do something.
Are you sure they won't just report me instead?
Oh, don't worry about that. They're really nice people. I know them well. They won't cause us any issues. All right. You should get back indoors, Sakujiro. We'll be back in no time at all. Okay, let's go. Time waits for no one. Wait, hang on. What about the fireworks? All those materials? Oh, there's so many orders to finish. Pots? Pots? No, never mind. I know. I'll write him a note telling him to sort out the fireworks.
Ahem! Why did you cut Paimon off earlier?
Because what he needs isn't an answer, just time.
Well, if it isn't Yoimiya. Come on in, dear. Come and take a seat. Are these two your friends?
Yes, they're travelers from afar. Outsiders have a very difficult time getting into Inazuma nowadays.
Indeed, these are unprecedented times. But seeing as they came all this way, we locals should give them a warm welcome.
Mm-hmm. Oh, before I forget, I brought the fireworks that you ordered.
Oh, thank you, dear. Your family is so good to us every year. First your father, and now you. I wonder if I'll still be around to see the next hair of Naganahara fireworks.
Of course you will. You're both in great health. Don't say things like that. It's bad luck.
We aren't as young as we once were, though. The body knows it. It used to be that I could spend all day working the land, carrying water back and forth. But now, even a moment of light work leaves me with all sorts of aches and pains. I wanted to do some weeding yesterday, but as soon as I bent down to get started, I suddenly felt that if I went any further, I wouldn't be able to get back up again.
No worries. Say no more. We'll handle it.
No, no, no. We can't be putting you to work when you're a guest in our home. I'll just go fetch the tea and some snacks, and then we'll continue our conversation.
It's fine. It's not like it's the first time I've helped you with chores. I just haven't had much time recently with the fireworks show coming up. But once that's out of the way, I'll be sure to come by more often.
It's no trouble, really. We don't mind helping.
Oh, you're such good kids. As for mine, he's all grown up now. Hasn't found anyone yet. And he doesn't visit very often. If you're quite sure it's no trouble, then I have some pickled radish here. Would you mind delivering it to Satoru on the other side of the village?
Sure, it won't take us a moment. The old folks aren't very mobile, so come on, let's help them out. We'll get rid of the weeds first, and then deliver the pickled radish. Yeah, you got it! And that should just about do it. Satoru is on the other side of the village. Let's go see him now. Hey, Satoru! How have you been? Keeping well?
Yeah, same as usual. Not much has changed. You're looking full of life, as always.
All thanks to the support of our loyal customers. The family business just keeps getting better and better. We sold some fireworks to Liyue a while back, and word is they were a real hit. So it looks like we'll be getting more business from over there in the future.
That must mean a lot more work for you, though. Are you sure you and Mr. Ryunosuke can manage? If it gets too much, don't forget, you can always ask me for help. Hmm?
We should be fine. I think we can cope. Oh, yeah. This is some pickled radish from Mrs. Imatani.
Oh, wow, thank you so much. I never used to be a fan of pickled radish, would you believe? But then I tried some of Mrs. Imatani's homemade stuff and I couldn't get enough of it. It's a family staple now.
Speaking of your family, how's everyone doing?
They're doing well. We have the occasional heated argument, but I guess that's every family ever. Being close to family is better than never getting to see them, even if it does mean putting up with some conflict. Now, Mr. and Mrs. Imatani seem to have a great relationship, but still, they must get lonely with their child never visiting.
Huh, they didn't seem that way to me. I think they're just used to it. You make a good point, though. I should drop by more often in the future. That way, they won't get so bored.
Oh, I'm sure they'd love that, as would all of us in Konda Village. You're always welcome here.
Thank you! Now that we finished all the chores, it's time to talk to the Imatanis about Sakujiro.
That was quick. Ah, young people are so handy.
Younger people have bundles of energy, and older people have a wealth of wisdom. Each have their strengths.
Speaking of youth, do you know what? It's been 50 years this year.
Oh, so it has. Goodness, how the time flies. You barely notice as the years go by, but then suddenly 50 years have passed.
50 years since what? Some important day?
Well, if you must know, it was 50 years ago, back in the days when this young lady was still trying to win me over, that...
Oh, stop trying to impress them. We both know you were the one who was hopelessly smitten and desperately trying to win my affection.
Well, maybe you're right. 50 years ago, I proposed to my wife at the Naganahara fireworks show. We've been together ever since. To tell the truth, I was still a little uncertain. I wasn't sure what I was doing when I walked into the Naganahara's shop and ordered my firework. Even as it was rising up into the sky, I still had no clue what I was going to say. But then it exploded, the sky lit up. I looked back at her and saw her eyes twinkling in the light of the fireworks. Before I knew what was happening, apparently, I'd already said it. And, well, she'd said yes.
50 years. In some ways, it's a long time. In others, it's no time at all. Really, it's just a number. But 50 years of being together? Now that is something worth commemorating.
I had no idea it was your 50th anniversary. If I'd known, I would have made some extra fancy fireworks just for you.
Oh no, it's quite all right. We always set off the same firework every year. It wouldn't be the same without it. Seeing that firework go off takes us right back to those days. Even at this age, we still look back with not a single regret.
Ah, what a great relationship they have.
Enough about us, though. Yoimiya, aren't you busy with the fireworks show coming up? Was there something you needed to discuss?
Yeah, it's a difficult thing to talk about, but here goes.
Sakujiro. So he came back.
Huh? You know him?
He was our boy's best friend when they were young. They were inseparable. They grew up together, shared everything with each other, and went everywhere together. But one day, they had a terrible argument.
Sakujiro seemed to feel that Inazuma was too peaceful and wanted to see what the outside world was like. But our Keisuke took after his father and mother. He felt that there was nothing wrong at all with being peaceful. You know what children are like. They get terribly worked up about these sorts of things. In the end, Sakujiro stormed off, and that was that.
I see.
Keisuke said nothing to me or my wife about the fight. We could sense that he was very hurt by it, but he didn't want to talk with us about how he was really feeling. Eventually, whether out of pent-up anger or for some other reason, he joined the Tenryou Commission. He rarely comes home anymore.
If it was anything else, I could talk to Keisuke, and I'm sure he'd be willing to help. But since it's Sakujiro, I don't feel there's any way we can get involved.
What a strange coincidence. Who'd have thought?
I understand now. When I asked Sakujiro why he came back, he just said because of past mistakes and wasn't willing to elaborate. Now I finally understand why he can't decide what to do.
Two best buddies in childhood. One grows up to join the Tenryou Commission, the other grows up to join the Tenryou Commission's most wanted list.
Well, no worries. If that's the case, then never mind. We can find some other way to help Sakujiro. There's no need to make things difficult for you. This sounds like something for Sakujiro and Keisuke to resolve between themselves.
Yes. It'd be so nice if they could go back to the way things were.
I think after all these years, they ought to let go of their grudges.
Well, can't say we didn't try. I'll let Sakujiro know after we get back.
Alright.